Greetings, minions, it is I, the Flaming Monocle, and I'm here, well, I'm very far away from, but I'm also here with my very good friend T-Dude.
Hello.
T-Dude is 650 miles away from me as we speak, but we've managed to rig up a system whereby he and I can converse as if we were all together in the same living room.
I'm in a dungeon.
Indeed he is, he's been very naughty. But I have allowed him to step up to the plate and play a game with me. Well, it's not so much a game as an interactive story. And that story is the 39 Steps, and I do hope you've been following us on our journey. If not, you may wish to go back to episode 1 and start from there. But you don't need me to tell you that, do you? So without further ado, we shall continue with Third Class Citizen, which is the next step. Well, not the next step, the next chapter, whatever it is. There's only 19 of these, so it's not the 39 of them.
Well, it's not the 39 chapters.
Nope, misclicked. The 39 chapters.
That would be too neat.
Third Class Citizen.
Now go and mop up the scotch.
Sunday, 24th of May, 1914, Wimpole Street, London.
Yep, back here.
Excuse me. I always hate clearing my throat. It should be something that one does in the privacy of one's own home.
Or with some alcohol.
Oh, with some scotch.
So we're waiting for the sodding milkman.
We are. Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Click.
I have some milk for you.
I have some milk for you. Would you like to have some milk?
Now, how are they going to do this? Is he going to punch him out, or is he just going to explain the whole deal?
How did it happen in the stage play?
Come in here a moment. I want a word with you.
It was done in a very humorous sort of like way, you know.
He was a young man about my own height. Sorry, yes.
I was just going to say in the
How was it done in the stage play?
In the stage play, they did it in a sort of a farcical way, you know, sort of stealing his clothes.
Oh, I see. He was a young man about my own height with an ill-nourished moustache, while wearing a flat blue cap and white overalls.
I reckon you're a bit of a sportsman, and I want you to do me a service. Lend me your cap and overall for 10 minutes, and here's a sovereign for you.
His eyes opened at the sight of the gold, and he grinned broadly.
A bet. I haven't time to explain, but to win it, I've got to be a milkman for the next 10 minutes, and all you've got to do is to stay here till I come back. You'll be a bit late, but nobody will complain, and you'll have that quid for yourself.
Right. I ain't the man to spoil a bit of sport. Here's the rig, governor.
Here's my hat for a quid.
Yeah, a 1914 quid. Wearing his hat and overalls, I went whistling downstairs. Whee!
I'm confused because he's not going to come back.
No, I think he means he's going to lose the bet and he's going to get a quid out of it.
Yep.
At first, I thought there was nobody in the street. Then I caught sight of a policeman 100 yards down and a loafer shuffling past on the other side. A single solitary shoe, but it was, never mind, poor joke. I crossed the street in character, whistling gaily and imitating the jaunty swing of the milkman.
This is what a lower-class milkman sounds like. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, blimey, governor, shine your shoes, I mean, give you some milk, blah, 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 blah. Oh, jolly, jolly, jolly day. Some impulse made me raise my eyes to the house opposite, and there at a first-floor window was a face. As the loafer passed, he looked up, and I fancied a signal was exchanged. Then I took the first side street and pegged it. There was no one in the alleyway, so I dropped the milk cans inside the hoarding and sent the cap and overall after them. I'd only just put on my cloth cap when a postman came round the corner. I gave him a good morning. He answered me unsuspiciously.
Another low-class person.
Hello, how are you, fellow blue-collar worker? Then I took to my heels and ran. All the way to...
St. Pancras?
To... Weymouth. No. Portland Place? No. Cleveland Street? No. No. Houston Road.
It'll
My
be
word.
Pancras Station.
Ah, St. Pancras Station. My word. I don't think it's ever looked that good. Ever.
God save our giant clock.
Indeed. I had no time to take a ticket. A porter told me the platform. I saw the train already in motion. 2 station officials blocked the way.
I didn't
Or
even
just
have time to
delivering
pay.
I dodged them and clambered into the last carriage. Gosh, you wouldn't do that with those automatic ticket barriers now. I had made it. I was promptly picked up by the police for not having a ticket. Oh gosh, backward trains were amazing. I forgot about these.
Backward trains? You mean just a train?
Well, no, when they had like really nice, comfortable little carriages and everything. Hey-ho. 3 minutes later, an irate guard interviewed me. He wrote out for me a ticket to Newton Stewart, a name which had suddenly come back to my memory. Then he conducted me from the first-class compartment to a third-class smoker. Oh, that's a bit different. The compartment was occupied by a sailor and a stout woman with a child. It was full of all the stereotypes you can imagine. Third-class carriage.
Oh,
Newspaper.
this is the cheaper
Oh.
carriage. It's got a small cloud in it of tobacco.
Harrods, by special appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, smart sports capes. You too can look like Britannia. Okay. Killing the goose. The taxes indeed threaten to submerge us, and the latest law to make the foreigner pay 5% on the a professional revealer. Dr.
Richard Hannay was so
Liebler.
intelligent that he found the paper boring and he put it down.
Oh look, Mappin and Webb. There's a company I've actually heard of.
Oh yeah.
I think I rented a suit from them once. Gosh, travelling cases from £27, 10 shillings. My word. Obesity can be reduced without drugs or starvation. Take Callard's Calari biscuits. Okay.
They're so crap. When you eat one, you'll never want to put anything in your mouth ever again.
Apply for free sample and booklet on the toast fallacy. Good. I do like the fact they've used real papers. The Pope's job. Pope Pius X on the influence of women.
Out of interest, what paper is this? If you scroll to the
This
top.
is The Observer.
Oh yeah.
Empire Day.
Again, didn't
Yes.
they paid for some of this game, didn't they?
Yes, they were part sponsor.
Yeah,
I
so
think
that's why they gave them free assets.
It's the same on both sides. Never mind, eh? Show text, though.
That must be a lot of text.
Oh, it's got this bit highlighted, I'm just thinking, so it's showing the text.
Oh, I
The annual
see.
Empire Day, blah, 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 blah. Empire Day Parade. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. So one other thing to click. I'm guessing it's going to be... Oh, the chair. No, not the chair.
Ah, it's a sailed job catching trains.
Aye, the impudence of that Geared. He needed a Scotch tongue to put him in his place. He was complaining in this way and no haying a ticket and her no favour till August 12th. And he was objecting to this gentleman spitting.
What? I don't know.
I don't
just
understand.
No, don't understand at all. This must have been some foreign language. I had a solemn time travelling north that day.
This was what they called a bullet train. It was very quick. Well,
I asked myself why. But I was still a free man, and I stayed on in London and not got the good of this heavenly country. I stopped off at Crewe. Went to Leeds. And then off to Carlisle.
and then Fleet for a Mackie days.
Or Fleetwood Mac. Then I got out Scudder's pocketbook and studied it. Oh, jeez.
How do I open a book?
I don't know what I'm doing here. Round and round
at
we
least
go.
it wasn't
Yay.
a swastika.
Oh my word.
This is what a drunk person sees when he's trying to flip through a passport or something.
Indeed.
Google.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Choo 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 choo. I can't draw trains. I like trains.
It's probably the best one that could be done with a
without being able to take your finger off the ear. I tried for hours, but none of the words answered. Oh. Okay. The writings. I was certain that Scudder never did anything without a reason, and I was pretty sure that there was a cipher in all of this, as opposed to, like, today's date in Roman.
Yes.
The cipher. I have a head for things like chess and puzzles, even though he used to beat me soundly every day, apparently. I used to reckon myself pretty good at finding out ciphers. These sets of figures looked like they corresponded to letters of the alphabet. And I was probably right. Snigger, snigger, snigger. Meanwhile, in Cockermouth and Dumfries... Oh my word,
England.
that's an actual, proper, coloured-in thing. I woke up at Dumfries just in time to bundle out into the crowded platform. Nope, disappeared. There was a young man on the platform whose looks I didn't like, but he never glanced at me. I caught sight of myself in the mirror of an automatic machine, with my brown face and old tweeds and my slouch. I was the very model of one of the hill farmers who was now crowding into the third-class carriages. I boarded the Galloway train, travelling with half a dozen in an atmosphere of shag. In an atmosphere of shag and clay pipes. Gosh, it was very liberal.
And very posh.
Third class? Have you seen a train today? They'd come from the weekly market and their mouths were full of prices. They obviously didn't have much to eat. Passengers. About half of the men had lunched heavily and were highly flavoured with whiskey.
That's highly flammable.
Highly flammable with whiskey. I heard accounts of how the lambing had gone up in the cairn and the Duke and a dozen other mysterious waters. I do apologise to anyone Scottish, of Scottish origin, or knows anything about Scotland, and that I may have offended them. Please direct all
we've already
inquiries to my
ruined it
minions.
all.
About 5 o'clock the carriage had emptied, and I was left alone as I had hoped. Yes, it's all going to plan. I got out. The next station. Choo-choo! It reminded me of one of those forgotten little stations in the Karoo. An old station master with his spade over his shoulder sauntered to the train, took charge of a parcel, and went back to his potatoes.
Sounds like Hagrid to me.
While a child of 10 received my ticket. You're a wizard, Mr. What's his name? Hannay. Mr. Hannay. Pa.
You can be a wizard if you want, if you have enough booze in your blood.
You got any groats? Onwards and upwards. Onwards again. I must say, these are very well painted little scenery bits and pieces here. I'm skipping through them, but the quality and the detail, it's a lovely thing. I was getting very hungry when I eventually came to a herd's cottage. A brown-faced woman greeted me with the kindly shyness of moorland places. When I asked
She offered me a ball of Quidditch.
When I asked for a night's lodging, she said I was welcome to the bed in the loft. And very soon she set up before me a hearty meal of ham and eggs, scones, and thick, sweet milk. Didn't give her any money, of course. I was far too good for that.
I mean, I'm bored. I'm a bored Scotsman. I don't have any money.
At the darkening, her man came in from the hills, a lean giant, who in one step covered as much ground as 3 paces of ordinary mortals. This has suddenly become something straight out of Tolkien. Tolkien. They asked me no questions, for they had the perfect breeding of all dwellers in the wilds, but I could see they set me down as a kind of dealer. I took some trouble to confirm their view. And I was right. I woke up dead. They refused any payment, and by 6 the next morning I'd breakfasted and was striding southwards again. Gosh, those Scottish folk are quite nice, aren't they? All the slackness of the past months was slipping from my bones, and I stepped out like a 4-year-old. My notion was to return to the railway line, a station or 2 further on than the place I had alighted yesterday, and to double back. Because, of course, this is typical man-on-the-run stuff, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, that's very pretty. They've done well with the artwork in this.
Yeah, I think this is kind of, this whole thing is more like a legacy thing, isn't it? Like they really want to preserve the book. Well, not preserve the book, but like, you know, they wanted to have a presence on Steam. It's so good.
Yeah. I waited till I saw the smoke of an east-going train on the horizon, and then I approached the station. Unless that was a mini-game and I had to wait for the smoke. And then I approached the booking office and took a ticket for Dumfries. Or Dumfries.
Dumfries.
Not Dumfries. And I think that's the end of that chapter. How are you finding it so far, Mr. T-Dude, sir?
Oh, it's definitely the story of the 39 steps, but it's what I really like is that obviously because the makers of the game have partnered with the some Scottish papers and things like that. It really is a way of presenting this story to someone like not so much in an interactive way, but if they want to say look at real papers from that time of the fictionalized story, then that's really cool, you know?
What I might do, actually, is later on I might put a link to the actual place on Google where you can look at these old things for real and actually see the papers from the times.
Yeah.
And actually see these bits and pieces. I mean, not obviously this story, but I mean, very similar sort of stuff happening.
Yeah.
This sort of stuff is going on all the time, I dare say. You know, what with all this strangeness and people running away on trains and murders.
Yeah.
Dash it all, why do we have to have murders, Tom?
Well, because we're all human, and human beings, when things don't go right, we kill people around us. Or at least that's what I've noticed from the people that I know.
Indeed. So, I think, at this juncture, we shall call it until the next time that we can play the 39 Steps. With me, the Flaming Monocle, and my very good friend T-Dude.
Yarr.
Anything else you'd care to say before we head off into the unknown?
Well, only that, the next couple of episodes are going, now that the plot's actually going with some kind of a murder mystery, that it's going to get very interesting, very dark, and, very exciting. So, yes. It's not a game. It's not an action game. It is a book, but it's wonderful to go through. So, yeah, it'll be fun.
We'll see you the next time we play. Cheers and goodbye.